AskReddit by Hakismeho. What celebrity death was the most unexpected? Any certain one like Kobe Bryant and Paul Walker, but Chris Cornell taking his own life came as a great shock to me. It never occurred to me that a man with such a successful and great music career could feel that way in his 50s. I was at Soundgarden's show in Detroit that night. The whole thing felt surreal. You just watched him perform Slaves and Amp, Bulldozers, then he's gone about an hour later. Plenty of sudden losses in the music industry have blown my mind. Taylor Hawkins' sudden passing was such a shock it was surreal, and it was a total gut punch losing Dimebag Darrell the horrifying way we did, but Chris passing absolutely wrecked me in a way I hadn't felt since Freddie Mercury passed. I was not expecting David Bowie. He died like the same day as an album release and didn't tell the world he was sick. I named my cat Bowie that year. He died 2 days after the release of Black Star. It gives the album a whole new meaning. Brittany Murphy. Yeah, I'm still shocked about this. And why? Just why? Philip Seymour Hoffman. Thought he was a fabulous actor. He was great and seemingly had a lot more to give. Sad stuff. John Ritter. I remember when 8 Simple Rules aired that episode where he died. Such a sad episode. I was much younger at that time and it was so hard to recover from. The two that surprised me the most were Taylor Hawkins and Grant Imahara. We had tickets to see our first Foo Fighters show last summer. My husband and I decided to go because we'd heard over and over again that they were amazing live. A recent one was Leslie Jordan. Well, hello fellow hunker downers. Phil Hartman, a little further back. At the time, I was a tremendous fan and found it difficult to accept the news. Hell, that still makes me so depressed. Hi, I am Troy McClure and you might remember me from such self-help films as Smoke Yourself Thin and Get Confident Stupid. Grant Imahara. This is the only celebrity death where I actually gasped and felt my stomach drop. It was just so unexpected since he seemed healthy and young. I was really shocked by Robin Williams and Alan Rickman. Alan Rickman is mine for sure. Just out of nowhere dead, had cancer, that's it. Nayari Vera. I was never a fan of Glee or Nayari Vera, but the way she died is so beyond tragic. Making the ultimate sacrifice to save her little boy, hers is one of the few celebrity deaths that has stayed with me. Phil Hartman. John Candy. Norm Macdonald. Edit. Apparently a few hundred of you didn't even know he was sick. Kind of a Norm thing to do, have cancer for about 9 years, and not tell anyone about it. Would be funny if it didn't end in a draw though. Comma. Aaliyah. And left eye just a few months later. Anton Yelchin. The fact that he had cystic fibrosis too for some reason makes it so much sadder, even though it wasn't connected to his death. Life really fricked this man. Chadwick Boseman. Was going on about my life and saw an article that he had passed due to cancer. I was starstruck. I was like, what? He had cancer? He died? Probably one of the most confused times of my life. Rip Chadwick. And the poor man was receiving criticism in the near last few times of his life due to how skinny he was. What a cruel world at times. Friendly reminder to all, there are cheap and easy ways to get screened for colon cancer. Ask your PCP about fit testing and be aware of your colon health. Colorectal cancer is one of the top beatable cancers if caught early. Deleted. Yeah, that has to be number 1 for anyone who was alive then. Certainly any American. Absolute insanity. Grant Imahara was like a freight train of pain. This was the beginning of celebrities who are my age dying from something other than accidents, suicide, or the misuse of drugs. This is what getting old feels like. Bob Saget. Oh dang, that surprised me a second time tbh. IDKY I forgot. OVCI. Deleted. George Michael, on Christmas Day 2. No one saw that one coming. And then Carrie Fisher a few days later. 2016 was rough with celebrity deaths, right till the very end. Trevor Moore. First rap song about getting high with dinosaurs. Christina Grimmie, she was only 22. The fact that he shot her while she was going to hug him just haunts me. Absolutely senseless. I feel terrible for her brother that was there and had to witness it all. Heath Ledger. That was seriously out of nowhere, and right after a huge blockbuster success. Actually it's worse. He died in January 2008. The Dark Knight didn't come out in theaters till July. He never got to see how well received he was as the Joker. Cameron Boyce. I think this is especially true for the younger crowd. When child stars die, the whole target audience, many of whom haven't had to deal with death yet, mourns a kid. Lesser known but Christina Grimmie, shot dead at 22 when signing autographs. This was in Orlando and the next night was the mass shooting at the Pulse nightclub there. In recent memory, Helen McCrory. I'm a big Peaky Blinders fan and it was shocking how she died within the filming period before season 6 released. She wasn't very old at all, rip. Chester Bennington. Keep him in your memory, leave out all the rest. Anthony Bourdain. He is the closest thing your everyday America has to legitimate, no bullshit, geography lesson. I will personally be forever indebted to this man for showing us the real, dirty but beautiful, underbelly of the places we hear about. I know he was sick, but Alex Trebek really sucked. I kind of thought he would just live forever. And watching the last episodes where he would be tearing up at the thought of having to leave the show really got me in the feels. Alex Trebek was Jeopardy! I haven't been able to watch it much since then. Robin Williams. I remember waking up, opening Reddit and reading that Robin Williams had committed suicide. I had to scratch my eyes to make sure I read that right. His movies were my childhood. Steve Irwin. And of all the things that wanted to kill him, a stingray was the one that succeeded. Dolores O'Riordan. River Phoenix. Bourdain. Still hurts. Bourdain's death affected me more than other celebrities. It's like I lost a friend I shared hundreds of meals with. Sean Locke. Jimmy, so Sean, what would you want your obituary to say? Sean, I don't care, I'd be dead. Jimmy, give it a go nonetheless. Sean, okay, how about no? Why? Selena Quintanilla Perez. Before her murder, she got real famous in the States for Dreaming of You. I bought the CD, playing it over and over, singing and dancing along. Her music made me so happy. Afterwards, I would still listen, but would just cry endlessly. I never wanted vengeance on a person like I did with Yolanda. I was only 11 or 12. Just recently unexpected, Kevin Conroy. Had no idea he was battling cancer. James Gandolfini. Still Princess Diana. I remember it so clearly. I worked nights at the time and right before I went to work, I saw the news bulletin that she'd been in a serious car accident, but the initial report was that she'd been injured and her boyfriend Dodi Fayed had been killed. I got out of work shortly after 4 AM, stopped a local convenience store to buy snacks and a newspaper like I did most days when I finished work back then, and I saw the headline in huge black letters, Diana dies in crash. I was absolutely stunned. I still miss Brittany Murphy. Grant Amahira. Was absolutely devastated when I heard the news. He was such a nice dude. Bernie Mac. I found out about him through a CinemaSins video. Caught me completely off guard. Loved him. One of the people I'd bring back if I could. Selena Quintanilla, Whitney Houston and Lemmy. Worst part about Selena is if the shot was a few millimeters off, they could have saved her. Truly senseless bloodshed. I miss her. Prince. JFK, Jr. and Diana. Heath Ledger. Michael Jackson. No matter how you feel about him, his death was definitely unexpected. Robin Williams hit people in places they didn't know they had. That poor man. Anton Yelchin was absolutely tragic, but he hadn't yet achieved the level of celebrity he no doubt would have. Tom Petty hit me in unexpected ways and still makes me sad, but that's me. He seemed like a kind man. I miss Tom Petty a lot. That one hit hard for me too. Kobe. Remember when everyone thought that was the craziest thing that could happen in 2020? Kurt Cobain. I knew he was a drug addict, hated fame and was depressed, but being a middle school kid, I didn't really understand all that. I was a huge fan, so it was a massive shock and my first experience double grief really. Chadwick Boseman. How true his circle must have been to him that not even a rumor leaked about his illness. Nothing. People made fun of his being thin toward the end, but I don't remember even hearing speculation that he was sick. Jason David Frank. This and Kevin Conroy in the same week was a lot for 90s kids to deal with.